Good morning, look at that nice car, and welcome to a rather snowy, windy, rainy and freezing cold Odessa, Ukraine in December. My glasses are slipping down my nose because of the rain, brilliant. Today I had every intention of filming a top tier travel video, you know, the ones with the overly dramatic voiceover and the flashy drone shots. Well, clearly that's not going to happen today, and I'm not going to subject myself to another Novosad situation with the rain. Therefore, I thought it would be a great opportunity to do a bit of a sit-down, talking, update video, because I actually have a few updates, shockingly. So if you don't like that sort of video, switch off now. And if you do, stay tuned. But first, we've got a dog. Hello. Ah, poor fluffy angel. Despite the weather, I thought I'd show you Deribasovskaya Street, which is like the main pedestrian walking tourist street in the centre of Odessa. I'm located like a block away, so I'm always down here. You've got these food places over here, like Turkish places, all sorts of stuff. The food is really good in Odessa. I've actually just thought to myself, we're gonna, what's the word, improvise today, because I'm gonna have something in this video. I've got to go to the shop to get it though. It is like supermarket food, but it is indicative of some of the food you can get in Odessa and Ukraine. It's one of my favourite things ever. If you've seen on Instagram, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, we'll cover this more in one of those aforementioned top tier videos. We've got pretty lights. Here's the end of Deribasovskaya Street. Oh, copyrighted music. Yeah, Deribas, it's named after Jose Deribas. Yes, that's a Spanish name. We'll cover the story behind that in a future video. So although it may seem so, I haven't just been sitting on my arse for the last 3 weeks. I've been in Odessa. I've been teaching English as normal, and I've been finishing an ebook that I've been writing. I actually started it when I first got to Belgrade back in, when was that, August? I don't know. So today's really the first day I've got a chance to come out and the weather's like this. So it will just be a case of waking up and seeing what the weather's like going forward and whether I'm free. Silpo. It's time to practice my Cyrillic reading, my Ukrainian, Dobry ranok, my Russian, Spasiba, do svidaniya. Let's go. Spasiba, do svidaniya. It's bloody grim, innit? But I've got me food. Oh, alright, let's go home. I'm home. Praise the Lord. Yes, the ironing board is my desk. Get over it. Right, food. I think we'll have that later. Okay, the thing about Ukraine that has absolutely shocked me. I'm finally a shocked YouTuber after all these years. I can't believe I didn't know this. I'm sorry for my absolute stupidity and ignorance, but heating, right? Apparently in some countries there is something called heating season, i.e. the city regulates the heating and turns it on at a certain time and then turns it off, and you have no choice whether you actually want the heating on or not. Someone called Greta, right? I've discovered the reason for excessive burning of fossil fuels. This is my vaccine certificate. Double shocked! Let's show you the food I've got. We're gonna have it later because I've got to put it in the saucepan and everything, but you cannot come to Ukraine, Poland, Belarus, Russia, Latvia, you name it, without having vareniki. Look at these absolute beautiful angels. So I know this doesn't look like much right now, but trust me, it will. The theme of improvisation will continue with my cooking techniques. If you know Poland, as you may know, I'm half Polish. Pierogi, or vareniki in Ukraine, is the best. It's something my nan used to make. My mum still makes it. I've made it as well from scratch with varying degrees of success. It's basically like a dumpling filled with cheese. You also get like pierogi ruski, which is filled with potato and cheese, and you top it with like bacon bits and onion. There are also sweet versions. My nan used to make like a blueberry one. It's great to have some food that I don't need to research because I know about this already. Kind of. So, I thought I would try and make the background a little bit more interesting with some remnants from the past. There's my Ahuevo laptop bag, Al Pastor from Mexico, available on my website, by the way. Teatro Isuano Martinez book, which George gave me in Torreon in Mexico when I went to that theatre in that video. And also some light reading. Wait for it. Deportation of Poles from Siberia. That's my granddad. Written by my nan, this book. I had my mum send it to me in Serbia because it's research for a book which I'm planning to write at some point. It's all very interesting, and you know, if you know anything about deportation of Poles to Siberia, it's heartbreaking, it's horrendous, horrific, all of those words. I would recommend reading about it if you're interested. Now, the drone shots you're seeing in this video were filmed a few days ago when the weather was vaguely, slightly better. I obviously am planning to film videos here in Odessa and indeed Ukraine, so I've got a bit of a plan, but it all very much depends on one thing, and I mentioned it already. I said vaccine certificate. It's not a vaccine certificate because I've had the first one. My second one is next week, although I still need to book it. It has really annoyed me throughout COVID when people say, oh, it's so easy to get a vaccine. It's not. Especially if you're in a country in which you are not a resident, you're not a citizen, you're not a taxpayer, you don't have any type of temporary residency. It's just not possible. You know, Serbia, I couldn't do it. Mexico, I couldn't do it. Ukraine, really, I can't do it either, but there are ways and means. Money, bribery, basically. I have to pay 300 hryvnia, which is about $10 to get the second vaccine next week. So as of next week, I'll be fully vaccinated. The reason I'm doing it, I've got to be honest, primarily it's for travel purposes because it's got to the point now where I literally can't go anywhere except Mexico and the Balkans without any kind of restriction. So it's just about making it easier for me going forward. I was sick for like a few days afterwards and also yesterday. It's kind of continued. I haven't felt great since getting it, but that's life. So yeah, and also with the vaccine in Ukraine from October the 21st, just before I got here, you can't actually get on a bus or a train to go anywhere in Ukraine in terms of domestic internal travel without a certificate. So if I didn't get it, I would be stuck in Odessa for the whole time, which I don't want to do. My ebook is the next point. So as you know, I teach English online. I've written a number of ebooks in the past concerning particularly business English for English teachers themselves, not for the actual learners. But this one's a bit different in that it's for both. And it's kind of focused on the world of hybrid working, remote working, post-pandemic. Well, we're kind of still in a pandemic. You know what I mean? So it's kind of focused on the topics which people need to be discussing nowadays. And that should be done kind of mid-December. That'll be on my website along with the other ones which you can get as well. And the reason I'm doing that, you know, people ask me like, why do you bother? I was like, because it's a source of income, quite simply. And it, you know, it does help people out as well, trying to get into the world of teaching English and also doing what I do. You know, the reason I've been able to travel full time for 5 years is because of that. Let's not forget that. If it, you know, YouTube on its own does not make enough money to do what I do, you know, things like ebooks and passive income as a whole, they may not be things which, you know, are making me thousands or millions. It's steady income that comes in little bits here and there, which, you know, kind of pays for daily expenses like, you know, cigarettes and Vareniki and things like that. So it is worthwhile. And you know, books that I wrote last year, I still get sales on them now, like, you know, every week, throughout the week, you know. So it comes in little dribbles, but it is worthwhile. Is my camera wonky? I hope it's not. Speaking of Poland, I finally have a bit of an update concerning Polish citizenship. If you don't know, last September 2020, I started the process in terms of obtaining Polish citizenship because my grandparents, as you can see, were Polish and I can obtain Polish citizenship by descent. It's becoming increasingly popular for people to explore that option, particularly people from the UK. I'm wobbling the ironing board because of Brexit. So primarily the reason I'm doing it is purely to make travel and working and living in the EU much easier because right now it's basically difficult. With only a British passport. Just because I'm getting a Polish citizenship and passport, hopefully, doesn't necessarily mean I want to or I'm going to move to Poland. I don't want to move to Poland. I've got no desire to move to Poland. You know, I've only been to 2 cities in Poland. Perhaps that will change in the future. But having an EU passport will obviously mean I can live anywhere in the EU. So it doesn't matter whether it's Latvia, which is the ultimate plan, or Estonia, or Spain, or Italy, whatever. Italy would be a dream. Sorrento. I'd love to live in Sorrento. So posh. The last update was the fact that the Polish provincial, I keep saying provisional, provincial office were waiting for the UK to authenticate, there's lots of great vocabulary in this video, my documents that I sent them way back in February. This week I finally had an update in that they've completed that review and that basically everything's looking good, and hopefully in 3 to 4 weeks, i.e. around Christmas or realistically early 2022 because of, you know, Christmas shutdown and everything, that's so annoying, I should receive confirmation. But I'm not going to count my chickens before they're hatched. That's the expression, isn't it? Because I don't know, it's not confirmed yet. So hopefully next year, early next year, I will have that. What's going to happen after that? So you may know that my ultimate aim is to settle down somewhere in the EU, get a cat and kind of have a normal life again. That's still very much the aim. Even though, you know, obviously I'm still travelling, you know, Mexico, Serbia, Ukraine, because at the moment that's kind of my only option. I'm not going to go to the UK, no way. That Polish passport, let's say I get citizenship in January, best case scenario, it will take about another 6 weeks to 2 months to obtain the passport, by which point I won't be in Europe. I'll come on to that. And then I'm probably going to be doing, you know, another sort of 6 months, 7, 8 months of what I'm doing now, travel related stuff in various countries, kind of like it's season 7, because this is season 6 right now. Season 7, as with Star Trek The Next Generation and Star Trek Voyager and Deep Space Nine, the best. Season 7 was the final one. I'm not saying that I'm going to finish, I'm not going to film videos anymore after season 7, because I will. It just won't be in the same guise as it has been of consistent travelling. I'm going to be based somewhere. So yeah, I'm pleased. Finally, there's a bit of cut through, if you know what I mean, with that. Okay, let's have the Vareniki. It's like 11 in the morning. I don't really want it at this time, but what can you do? Saucepan with some butter. Let's not burn the butter. I hate these induction things. Okay, I have burnt the butter. Brilliant. It doesn't really matter. Okay, Vareniki goes in the saucepan. I would, yeah, like I said, I normally have this with bacon, maybe onion on the top as well, and I would normally fry it in a frying pan so that it goes golden brown, but I haven't got a frying pan, so I've got to use a saucepan. Okay, it doesn't look great, let's be honest, but honestly, I don't care. So as you can see, you have like a cheese inside, and it's really good when you have it with bacon and when they're a bit more golden brown. But you know what, I don't care, it's the taste that matters. So once I made this and it was the best, I kind of improvised again with it. I had like mustard in it and lots of pepper. I forgot pepper, brilliant. It was better than my mum's. Sorry, mum. But the second time I made it was on Christmas Day in Poland last year, and it was an absolute disaster. Heavenly. Some people call it Polish ravioli. It's not that. It's pierogi, Vareniki. This is only from the supermarket. It is the fresh one. There is a frozen one in my freezer too. But, of course, go to a restaurant. You can get a proper restaurant one, which I do plan to do in a video. Lovely. You also get pelmeni, which is kind of similar. Usually it's smaller dumplings, but the filling is only with meat. I don't really like that for some reason. Much prefer Vareniki. Ah, that was divine. So that's it. That's all the updates. Just in terms of what you can expect going forward, I'm going to do my absolute utmost to film as many videos as I possibly can in Ukraine by the end of the year, because I'm planning to leave Ukraine on New Year's Day. That will be when the end of season 6 will be, and then I'm going to be taking my yearly YouTube creative break. This year it was 4 months. It won't be 4 months. It'll be like a month this time, because at the end of January, early February, I'm going to be going somewhere that isn't in Europe to start off, to kick off season 7. It's a country that I have been to twice before. It's not Mexico. I've been there 7 times. And it's, but it's somewhere that I went before YouTube, and it's somewhere I've always wanted to go to in the YouTube era, and it's going to be epic. Let's just say it won't be snowing. So watch out for that in the future. But for the meantime, you're stuck with Odessa videos in crappy winter weather. Brilliant! So thanks for watching. I will try to get out tomorrow to film a proper video, so you can hopefully expect that in a few days. A top tier one, hopefully. Because there's quite a lot of things to do in Odessa, actually. I was quite surprised. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time. Oh, catch you later.